welcome back to Life Enrichment with Hank Ballinger. Today we want to talk about, are you productive? Now, a lot of times in life we go through motions, and in a day's time maybe we get a lot of things done, we get a lot of things accomplished, but is it really productive? And I want to talk about a specific type of productive or productivity. So it's not sometimes just doing stuff, it's doing specific things. But before we get into that, again, thanks for watching the channel. We really appreciate it. If you can, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it with others on Facebook. We would really appreciate that. When people share it on Facebook, it goes really fast. So we really appreciate it. So thank you very much for your efforts. Now, to be productive, if I'm going to plant a garden, then there's a lot of planning that goes into that. Not only do I have to buy the seeds, but I can't just buy the seeds and throw them out in the yard. I have to plow, I have to disc or work the ground. I have to some things you got to make rows to put them in, some things you make hills to put them in. There's a lot of work goes into it before you ever get a tomato or a potato, anything out of it. And then once you finally do plant it, then you got to make sure you keep the weeds out of it. I had an uncle, he always used to say this. He would call weeds, he would call them TV weeds. And you'd say, well, what's a TV weed? He'd say, yeah, them TV weeds are growing in the garden. You'd say, what's a TV weed? He'd say, well, that's when you spend too much time watching TV and you don't go out and hoe the garden and get the weeds out. He called them TV weeds. So sometimes your garden has too many TV weeds, and you just don't spend the time. You're not productive enough in the garden because you're spending time on the TV. So now, I don't consider productivity as just doing something. Now, I like to exercise every now and then. Probably to look at me, you probably wouldn't think so, but when I exercise, one of the things I do is one of these stationary bikes. It just sits there and you pedal. And for about 20 minutes, I pedal that rascal. So here I'm sitting pedaling. I'm doing a lot of motion, but you know how far I get? Nowhere. I go nowhere. Now, does it accomplish something? Probably burns a few calories, probably helps a little bit, but I don't get anywhere. There's no productivity as far as going somewhere. There's some productivity, but it's a specific type of productivity, but it's not a productivity as to ride a bike from here to town to go to the grocery or something like that, or go to somebody's house. So productivity is not just doing something, it's doing specific somethings. Okay, it's very important. Your job may be productive for you, but it may not. It may get you a paycheck, but is it doing something that's really important? Is it fulfilling your life? Okay, very important. Now, I'm not telling everybody by any means, I'm not saying just run out and quit your job. I'm not saying that. You may have to hang on to that job till you can have an income from something else that you really love to do, that you are productive at in the way that you need to be, because it fulfills what you need to do and who you are. Okay, maybe you need to write a book. Maybe you need to write songs. Maybe you need to be a heart surgeon. Maybe, I don't know what you need to do. I don't know what is your drive in life. But whatever it is, you need to have that as your goals, and you need to push for that. Be productive in that regard. Not just doing something that somebody else wants you to do and that somebody else is just paying you to do that you really don't care for. Very important. To be truly productive, you must do what you want and what you need to do. Again, it's not important or not enough to just do something, to just be moving, to just be accomplishing something if it doesn't fulfill who you are. Very important. It's very important that everybody sets specific goals. Now, on this channel, that's one of the big things that we really push for everybody to do. I love real estate. I really like it. It's not for everybody. Now, I go over a lot of examples on how to build wealth through real estate, but it's not for everybody. But everybody has something that they could do. Okay, now you're going to see this. If you watch this channel, you're going to see this time after time. If you read self-help books, if you watch videos on YouTube or any other social media that people are being motivational, my goodness, you're going to see this all the time. Set goals. You have to know what you're shooting at. Maybe you're if you're from Jackson County or maybe from Tennessee or something, and you know what trap shooting is or skeet shooting. You go and you shoot these clay pigeons, these clay targets. They throw them out and you shoot them as they're going through the air. So you shoot those, but that's your target. Or sometimes you have a target and it's a set target and you shoot at that and see how close you can get to the bullseye. But either way, you have a target. You're shooting at something. That's life. That is life. There is always a target. You have to realize I've got to be shooting at something. Set goals. That's what you're shooting for. Now, goals that you want to accomplish. Not just something somebody else tells you to do, like at a job. And again, I'm not knocking jobs. If you love your job and that is your goal to maybe get better at your job and go from lower management or maybe no management to management, and then go from lower management to mid-management, from mid-management to upper management, and then maybe even run the company or start your own company someday. I don't know what your goals are, but it can be in work. Many people have, and many people have done well because part of their goal is to move up at work and to accomplish goals at work. And that's great if that's your goal, if that fulfills who you are. What will enrich your life? Again, this is called life enrichment. We want to enrich your life. We want to help you accomplish that. We want to give you the means to accomplish those goals. Now, I love this saying, you can do anything you want to do, but not everything you want to do. Now, another shorter way of saying that is you can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that's true. You may set a lot of goals, and I may set goals, and I'm big on goals, but you know one thing I can't do? I could set the goal all I wanted to, but I'm never going to reach it. I may say I want to beat Michael Jordan or one of the big NBA players of the day. And I don't keep up with sports, but maybe LeBron James. I could say I want to beat LeBron James and put that down as my goal this year. Probably not going to happen. I may say I want to be the world's first trillionaire. Single trillionaire. Now, there are some companies today, in today's time, you can look this up on your phone, fact check me again. That's fine. I love people that fact check. Let me know if I'm wrong. But there are a few trillion-dollar companies in the world today. They have reached the trillion-dollar mark. I think Apple, the other day, I heard that they may be the first company to get to the $3 trillion mark. That's pretty impressive. But some of the world's richest people are only around 200 billion. So if you were to be the first person to get to $1 trillion, that's a pretty good net worth. But if you set that goal, say you're broke, and you say, well, I want to be a trillionaire by tomorrow, I think that goal's probably not going to happen. Okay, you can do a lot of things, but you can't do everything. You can't be a trillionaire. You can't be an astronaut, a baseball player, a basketball player, a football player. You can't be the CEO of Amazon. You can't do all of those. Maybe Elon Musk, but very few. So you got to be specific. So you can do many things, but you can't do everything. Set specific goals and tailor them for yourself and push really hard to achieve those goals. Make your goals your why. Now, again, if you watch a lot of videos on YouTube, you read a lot of books, go to seminars, whatever, you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, what is your why? And I'm big on that. What is your why? If your why is strong enough, I don't care what goal you set, almost, you can achieve it as long as it's attainable. Now, you may have to really, really stretch hard, but you can attain that goal. You can do it. But you've got to push yourself and push yourself. Your why is very important. If your why becomes who you are, you eat, breathe, sleep, you think about this thing all the time, and you really push in all the right ways, you can achieve those goals. it's very important that you have faith in yourself. If you don't, it's hard for anybody else to. You have to have faith in yourself. Now remember, be productive. Your life depends on it. Your family's life. You could change your family's life from now on. Set those goals. Be productive with what fulfills you. And you can become redneck rich. See you on the next video.